It's a brand new edition of The Rundown with Ramon. And guess what? It's a special edition of The Rundown with Ramon because you're here with me today. If you weren't here, what a not so great show it would be. But today we have an exciting show for you today. My name is Ramon Ray, publisher of ZoneOfGenius.com. Started 5 companies, sold 3 companies, authored 5 books. And I'm glad you're here on this edition of The Rundown with Ramon. So good day, good day, good day to you. We have a lot in store for you today. That includes Harvard research revealing the best way that you can describe yourself. Forget the fire, stoke the flame, leading when the motivation vanishes. We're going to talk about 15 emerging social media trends to leverage in influencer marketing. This flexible side hustle is helping millions earn extra cash and might be more attractive than an office job. The secret negotiating power you have when you get laid off, and how you can find your next big thing in life or more. Darius Farrow says, when should you not listen to science-backed advice? That's going to be interesting. And if you didn't know it, most Americans don't think higher education is worth the cost, in fact. And last but not least, 4 critical questions most buyers never ask business for sale owners. My name is Ramon Ray. It's a brand new edition of The Rundown with Ramon. Glad you're here. Hope your day is going fine and blessed and fantastic. We got a lot in store for you today. And I know it's going to be a great, great episode. And I would dare say the best episode yet. So sit back, relax, get ready, because the Rundown with Ramon is starting right now. And before I begin today's show, I was just thinking to myself, you know how blessed we are in this era we're at. And everybody in different eras could say how blessed they are in their particular era. But I was just thinking, we have an idea and a dream and want to start a business. We can go to Upwork.com or Fiverr.com and get freelancers like that. Or I got some jobs, some freelancers want an online jobs.ph, whatever your favorite platform is to hire talent or those who can help you do what you're doing to test your dream. You want to build a website, get a domain name from GoDaddy or Wix or however you want within seconds. Want to build a website, get a WordPress website, Wix website, or some other version of it. Want a little simple database? You got Keep, you got Zoho, you got Thrive, you got all kind of different platforms. You want to go live like this and inspire and talk to thousands and thousands of people every day across a variety of platforms. You got platforms like StreamYard and Restream and others. Hey, Deborah Williams, glad you're here today. Even simple things like this. I got this heater recently from Amazon. It's a little remote switch. Watch this. Watch it. Let me hear you hear it. Boop, it's off. Now it's on. I mean, even that, who would think? Just a remote on a heater. You don't even have to go outside with the coal and the charcoal and start it up. But it just got me thinking how easy it is to have your dreams today. And pretty much the only thing probably keeping you back from being where you should be, from having the success that you should have in life, is yourself. Am I saying that life is fair? Am I saying that everything is great? No. Am I saying that, hey, what about me? I was abused. I had a different outcome than you. I didn't have 2 parents. My parents were born into poverty. I was born into poverty. I'm not saying all those things are not the case, but many people have been like that, and they've overcome. Some of the biggest and best entrepreneurs of modern times and of times ago have been people who didn't come from wealth, people who had nothing, and they still were able to triumph and succeed. So it's just sometimes when I sit here today in the Rundown with Ramon studios, and I think of the lights I have, boom, got it. Think of the music I'm able to play, boom, got it. Think of being able to deliver amazing insights to you today on the Rundown with Ramon. I'm not going to quite tear up, but I'm like, you know what? That's pretty cool, of the life that most of us get to live. And if you don't have that kind of life, I invite you to try it. It's pretty much probably just mindset. That's the difference between me and you. Welcome to a brand new edition of the Rundown with Ramon. Ding, 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 ding. Harvard research reveals the best way to describe yourself, says Jeff Hayden of Inc. Hard work matters, but science indicates that we have an unconscious bias, regardless of eventual level of skill, for people who possessed innate talent. Talks about Mark Cuban and overheard him talking about sales, a subject he feels strongly about. And once when asked what he would do if he had to start over, Cuban said, I would get a job as a bartender at night and a sales job during the day. I would start working. Could I become a multimillionaire again? I have no doubt about it. Then he was asked, If sales skills are something he developed, absolutely. But at the same time, selling came naturally to me. Cuban's response is honest yet also interesting. We love stories of people who worked hard to overcome an apparent lack of talent. The steeper, more difficult the climb, the greater respect or not. It turns out, says this article here, we don't respect, at least to the degree we assume, people whose achievements are seemingly based almost solely on hard work. Nor do we always treat them in terms of hiring, promotions, or performance evaluations the way they deserve. There was a study in the Personality and Social Psychology Bulletin emphasizing the importance of hard work can work against you. These three studies show that people tend to pass over better qualified individuals in favor of apparent naturals. Why? Blame naturalness bias, the tendency to judge naturals to be superior to strivers. So here's the takeaway. My naturalness bias may cause me to think less highly of Mark for whatever reason. Science says we unconsciously favor naturals. Mark could say, I realize wide awake, I have a gift for sales and I've worked hard to make the most of it. The same is true for you. Instead, to be honest, admit that carpentry came easily at first, then talk about what you've done to develop and build those skills. And I think that's important. We may say this and that comes naturally to me, which could be true. But the writer's saying, hey, don't forget to admit also the hard work you put the years and years behind it to make it better and better and better, to build up the networks you have, to make the talent you have, to make the skills you developed even more marketable. And I think of myself as a motivational keynote speaker. Yes, I've been speaking and doing some version of this for many, many years, 30 years or so. But I can't take away the time of the pandemic. 4 years on Clubhouse, every single day speaking and hosting and moderating with a mic on an iPad. That honed me even more. The relationships I built because of that, even more. Everybody, my name is Ramon Ray. You've just entered the Rundown with Ramon, and I'm glad you're here today, where we provide you with insight and information to help you start or grow your business. Ding, 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 ding. Forget the fire. Stoke the flame. Leading when motivation vanishes, writes Sasi Ochoa. What do you do? How do you move forward when you don't have the motivation to do it? Is it true that a leader needs to be motivated and motivate others? Is it possible to be a leader without motivation? Two frequent questions and multiple perspectives around them are there. Can we still lead? Can we still go when we don't have the motivation? Well, there's the unexpected discovery of powerful leadership motivation. How do we move forward when we don't have that? The challenge is to achieve the same performance in adversity, and that makes the best leaders. Are we able to move forward even if we don't have the internal motivation? Maybe we woke up and don't feel like it. True leaders know they have a mission to accomplish, where it's the mission to provide for your family, or the mission to move your business forward, or the mission just to get a task done that you were asked to do. True leadership transcends motivation. True leadership, writes the right author, means consistently choosing courage instead of fear. This is the power of true leadership. And my question to you is, do you have that today or do you not? Hey, Richard, glad to see you here. Good day to you. This is the power of true leadership. We consistently get up and do what we have to do over and over and over again, nonstop. That doesn't mean we're not human. No. But this does mean we have the power to move forward despite or in spite of the circumstances we may face or not face. Ding, 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 ding. 15 emerging social media trends to leverage in influencer marketing. 15 trends to consider what we can do. A shift away from big name generalists. Big name generalists are nice. The Gary Vaynerchuk's of the world and the Damon Johns of the world, big names who are very known in the business space. But guess what? People are looking at also niche influencers like Ramon Ray. More control over promotions with virtual influencers. Virtual influencers have been increasing in popularity and can now offer brands a new way to engage with audiences on social media. The rise of short form video. The rise of short-form video content on platforms such as TikTok, Instagram Reels, and YouTube Shorts showcases a huge shift for brands and influencer marketing. Instagram's collaboration feature. The collaboration feature on Instagram is a huge opportunity for brands to get in front of the audiences of the influencers they partner with. So Instagram's collaboration feature, I've been on the receiving end of that just in recent days. Creators influence with Gen Z and Gen Alpha. The level of influence that creators have with audiences, especially younger generations. Live streaming with influencers is absolutely important as well. Live streaming with influencers. Number 7, community targeting tactics. I'm a fan of the micro-influencer strategy and community targeting tactics. You have to take more time targeting the right influencers in key communities. There's the integration of AR filters. Augmented reality is a big deal, it seems. Brands can leverage augmented reality filters in collaboration with influencers. I've never seen those in use. I know what they are, of course, but maybe in some segments they are. Executive thought leadership on LinkedIn is on the rise. Executive thought leadership on LinkedIn is gaining traction among brands that want to connect, engage, and build trust with their audiences. Short form video from internal thought leaders. This means companies not just going external, but having external thought leaders also on the rise. LinkedIn's suggested post feature. LinkedIn is developing a suggest post feature to promote relevant content to specific audiences well after it was originally posted. And 12, customize always-on virtual influencers. One emerging feature in the world of social media the brands can leverage for influencer marketing is the rise of virtual influencers. That's a double virtuality. People would say I'm doing a virtual event, but then you have people who are AI-powered and more. They're not real humans. TikTok's new favoritism towards photo carousels is increasing, says Daniel Wiley. Repurposing of basic user-generated content. And 15, live content on Instagram and TikTok. This is the power of that Alexandria Nicole. This is the power of that Christine Macy. Social media is rising. And if you're not in with it, especially if you want to get money being a social media influencer, as it were, you're going to miss out. And what does it mean to be a social media influencer? Here's what it means. Why am I that? Because I make my living producing content to educate and help Christine, to educate and help Alexandria, to educate and help Richard, to educate and help Deborah, building an audience just like ABC, CBS, Fox. They have audiences. And then part of my revenue may come from sponsors saying, Ramon, we want to work with you. We'll pay you to get our message in front of your audience. That's what it means to be an influencer. That's how we might get paid. Or, hey, can we pay you since you have a brand, since you're out there, can you come and speak at our event and give our event some cachet? Maybe we can co-write a book with you. This is the power of influencer marketing, as opposed to someone maybe who's making a microphone and using Google Ads to sell the microphone to audiences. There's many ways to build a thriving business. The key is to choose which one do you want to do. My name is Ramon Ray. This is the Rundown with Ramon. I hope you're doing amazing today. And if you're not, I hope spending a little time with me on the Rundown with Ramon can be a bit better for you. Ding, 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 ding. Did you know this flexible side hustle is helping millions earn extra cash and might be more attractive than an office job? Can you guess what it is, Christina? Can you guess what it is, Alexandria? Can you guess what it is? Well, before you guess, I'm going to tell you the answer. Writes Amanda Breen, more than half of young Americans have a side hustle and say it's necessary because of the current economy. But one side hustle isn't always as flexible and low effort as the next. 15% of Gen Zers and millennials have a side hustle, and 80% of them say they depend on the additional cash given the current economy. A recent survey from the online lending marketplace LendingTree found this out. These days, the options for making extra money are near limitless. Selling sneakers online, owning and operating vending machines, answering questions from the comfort of your couch, all these things and more. Such side hustles can be especially appealing because they require minimal or no upfront investment. And the other side hustle that's increasingly, in fact, half of people under the age of 45 would leave their full-time job if gig work offered benefits. It goes on here saying the gig economy shows no sign of slowing. So if you're looking to be a gig worker, there could be money there. Much of my team is built up on freelancers, Kimberly Wyckoff. My video editor, my social media manager, my copywriter, the team who helps me put together the Rundown with Ramon. It's all freelancers. I don't have formal employees and have a 1090, 10, whatever you call it, W-2 sent to them. No, it's freelancers. So if you have a skill and you're willing and you have an appetite for a bit of uncertainty, you might want to get a job as a freelancer, work for yourself and serve others. Again, welcome to the Rundown with Ramon. Ding, 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 ding. This is interesting. The secret negotiating power you have when you get laid off. Did you know that you have negotiating power? Especially if you have a good review and you got a pay raise. Straw, who went on to create the Adventure Project, now in its 13th year, wishes she could tell her 29-year-old self not to take the package. It's important to remember that companies are buying something from you when they hand you that severance offer. What are you willing to sell them? Most employees don't realize how much of an upper hand they have when they're notified of a layoff and handed severance paperwork. Losing a job can be traumatic. It's the experience fraught with raw emotion and more. But most people, says the article here in Fast Company, don't realize how much power they have at the same moment. There are many factors to consider when handed a severance package. Your severance package is a first offer. Always negotiate the severance package. Standard severance packages are shifting, which means you should negotiate. Think beyond financial compensation. What else might you want in that package? Is it more than a dollar amount? The length and scope of restrictive covenants. There's many things you can do when offered a package. This is a big decision. Take your time. Employers are generally required to give workers 21 to 45 days to review a severance offer. You do not have to accept the first offer issued during the same conversation when you're notified of the layoff. Who knew that you could negotiate your way to a better severance package, a better deal? I love it. Kimberly Wyckoff is saying, yes, her team is built off of freelancers as well, and that's great. Freelancers is a great way to build a small business and a big business for that matter. Larry Long is saying, tell it, sir. Cheers. Thank you, Larry. Appreciate that. So there's multiple ways for the side hustler to make money and for us who are in business. Don't forget, I've started 5 companies, sold 3 companies, authored 5 books. All of it has been working in partnership with amazing freelancers. So when you want to grow, when you want to expand, when you want to do more than you've done, think about it. You can do a lot working with freelancers. My name is Ramon Ray. This is the Rundown with Ramon. Glad you're here today. Hope we're helping you live your best life or start to grow your business. If you want to get to know me better, you can meet me at RamonRay.com. Check us out at zoneofgenius.com and more. Ding, 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 ding. Curious what you think about this headline. Bringing it up here right now. Jason Feifer says, how to find your next big thing. What do you want to do next? This framework can help. What do you want to do next? The themes of life. Jason Feifer is a man who talks about these things. Let's be specific. Ask yourself, are there distinct periods of time when your goals or actions shifted? Can you give these periods of time a name and think of them as distinct themes? Once they all have a name, do you notice a new theme, something you're maybe just at the beginning of? Jason Feifer became editor-in-chief of Entrepreneur Magazine in 2016. In his time, there's been broken down into 3 themes. First, I focused on building that brand. Then I also built my own brand, developing a distinct voice and audience. And number 3, I'm also building other brands, including new companies and advising others. Same job, same title, same original responsibilities, but it's not exactly the same because he's created a new chapter for himself. Don't think about a specific project you want to do for the next 10 years. Instead, what's a theme you want for the next 10 years? I love this, Jason Feifer. Love this, love this, love this. And I think it's important to ask yourself that, what do you want your world to look like in the coming months? What do you want your world to look like in the next few years? Maybe it changes, but if you're like me, if you're a bit older, 50, 40, maybe even 30, do you like what you're doing? Do you want to keep doing it? Then how can you write the own chapter of your life to keep doing that over and over and over again? Once again, everybody, my name is Ramon Ray. This is the Rundown with Ramon. Having a good time here, sharing you tips and insights how you can live your best life or start to grow your business. Hope you're having a good time. And lesson from this, what is your next big thing? What do you want to do with your life? If you're stuck and not doing what you want to do, you're not happy where you are right now, guess what, ladies and gentlemen? That can change. Did you know that, Kimberly Wyckoff? Did you know that, Christina? Did you know that, Alexandra Nicole? Did you know that, Richard? Did you know that, Deborah? You can write the next chapter of your life how you want it to be or not want it to be. You don't have to live the life that's given to you, that's dealt with you. You can write your own chapter if you're willing to take a bit of risk and make things happen. Ding, 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 ding. When should you not listen to science-backed advice, writes Darius Faroo. When I was reading this, I was saying, ooh, this can get very political very fast. But here's what he says, 2 examples. It sounds too absurd to be true. And remember, because people say it's science-backed advice doesn't mean it is. Researchers from the University of Pennsylvania found that listening to the Beatles song When I'm 64 makes people younger by almost 17 years. The study didn't say listening to the song made one feel younger or the brain younger. Instead, it made the bold claim that listening to the song enough did actual changes to your body and made you literally younger. The study met the standard of statistical significance that most scientific journals demand, and so it was published. Later, the study's authors realized they had just made up the study and its results. They were experimenting on whether or not they could get away with publishing a study in a moderately prestigious scientific journal by using statistical tricks to find relevant-looking patterns out of random results. In scientific research, this is called false positive. Be careful of false positives, things that look to be true but are not. Number 2, it didn't have enough time to age. How long ago was this study done? And how many studies have been done about this topic over the years? As a rule of thumb, there's a sweet spot for research timelines, anything over 20 years old. And number 3, always cross-check, writes Darius Faroo. Yes, science is great. Science is wonderful. But science itself can go wrong, because oftentimes it goes wrong when it's not science, when humans say it's science and we think it is. Love Deborah Williams is saying she loves that aspect of where do we want to be in the future? Where do we want to go? Focus on who you want to be, the theme you want your life to have, and how you can get there. That's how you can make a difference. Thanks for being here today on The Rundown with Ramon. Going on for one more topic here, or 2 more. Ding, 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 ding. Did you know that most Americans don't think higher education is worth the cost? I don't know what you think about that, but I'm curious, do you think college education is a must? What say ye? Is college education a must? Do you think it's a thing that most young people should do? Or what if they have a skill or a talent, or they just get a job and learn on the job training? What if they're in the trades? What if they become an AI programmer? What if they become a great receptionist? What if they become a great gig worker on Upwork? They become a great copywriter, blogger. Now, if you could become an engineer or astronaut or lawyer or accountant, some things require a college degree, but most Americans are saying, no, college degree is not worth it. Last but not least, ding, 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 ding. 4 critical questions most buyers never ask business for sale owners. 4 critical questions you should ask. Tell me about your business. Do you take the time to even ask the person you're buying a business from, to tell me about your business? How much vacation do you take? The owner of the business, you're buying their business from them. Have they ever taken a break, ever taken vacation? Because if not, you're buying a job, not a business. What keeps you up at night? Asking the owner of the business, what are the biggest challenges? What keeps you up at night? And the last question, ask a very powerful question. What happens if you get hit by a truck? Does your business still run? Are there systems built in? Or is your business really all built on you? Because if you're buying the business, you don't want to buy a business that... And I will remind you of one thing alone. If you're enjoying this episode, don't forget to check us out at zoneofgenius.com. Come and visit me one day at ramonray.com. I encourage you to ask yourself, what do you really, really, really want to do in life or in... And ask yourself, of course, do you even want to be in business? Business ownership may not be for you. It's okay. Be comforted. This is not Shark Tank. This is not where there's a deal going to be after to renegotiate. There's no commercial break coming to save you. It doesn't work that way. Are you hungry enough to be where you need to be in life and in business? Are you hungry enough? What are your prices like? Are they premium? Or they're the cheapest on the market? It will impact everything about you. And I want you to ask yourself this simple question. What do you do best, Christina? What do you do best, Deborah? What do you do best, Kimberly? What do you do best, Alexandria, Nicole? Everybody you just joined, I'm glad you did. My name is Ramon Ray, brand new edition of the Rundown with Ramon. Go call somebody, DM somebody, fax somebody, put the mail today, a letter today, and let them know that you care. Let them know they're special. Let them know they're important, and tell them you appreciate them, and encourage them to tell somebody else that. And let's do today to make the world a better place. Glad you're here today on a brand new show. Thanks for being here on the Rundown with Ramon. And that's a wrap. That's a wrap. That's a wrap. Glad you're here today. Go out and make a difference in the world. And I'll see you next time on the Rundown with Ramon.